Planning engineer job interview questions and answers. 1. Compare between optimistic, most likely, original duration. Optimistic duration is determined to be the shortest possible duration. Most likely duration is determined to be the most probable activity duration. Pessimistic duration is determined to be the longest possible activity duration. 2. What is the function of the activity code? Activity code identify characteristics of the work or in some way categorize the schedule activity that allows filtering and ordering of activities within reports. 3. What is the activity risk criticality index? Activity risk criticality index, the probability that the schedule activity will be on a critical path. 4. What is the activity sequencing? Activity sequencing, the process of identifying and documenting dependencies among schedule activities. 5. What is the activity type? Activity type, a categorization designation that differentiates the discrete schedule activities that have different functions within the schedule model, such as milestone, task, summary, level of effort, and dummy. 6. What is the actual cost? Actual cost, total costs actually incurred and recorded in accomplishing work performed during a given time period for a schedule activity or work breakdown structure component. 7. What is the application area? Application area, a category of projects that have common components significant in such projects, but are not needed or present in all projects. 8. What is the arrow diagramming method? Arrow diagramming method, a schedule network diagramming technique in which schedule activities are represented by arrows. The tail of the arrow represents the start, and the head represents the finish of the schedule activity. The schedule activities are connected at points called nodes, usually drawn as small circles to illustrate the sequence in which the schedule activities are expected to be performed. 9. What is the backward pass? Backward pass, the calculation of late finish dates and late start dates for the uncompleted portions of all schedule activities. Determined by working backwards through the schedule network logic from the project's end date. The end date may be calculated in a forward pass or set by the customer or sponsor. 10. What is the function of the bar chart? Bar chart, a graphic display of schedule-related information. In the typical bar chart, schedule activities or work breakdown structure components are listed down the left side of the chart, dates are shown across the top, and activity durations are shown as date-placed horizontal bars, also called a Gantt chart. 11. What is the baseline? Baseline, the approved time-phased plan for a project, a work breakdown structure component, a work package, or a schedule activity, generally refers to the current baseline, but may refer to the original or some other baseline. 12. What is the budget? Budget, the approved estimate for the project or any work breakdown structure component or any schedule activity. 13. What is the calendar unit? Calendar unit, the smallest unit of time used in scheduling the project. Calendar units are generally in hours, days, or weeks, but can also be in quarter, years, months, shifts, or even in minutes. 14. What is the change control? Change control, identifying and documenting, approving or rejecting, and controlling changes to the project baseline. 15. What is the schedule constraint? Schedule constraint is any limitation or restraint placed on the project schedule that affects when a schedule activity can be scheduled and is usually in the form of fixed imposed dates. 16. What is the cost constraint? Cost constraint is any limitation or restraint placed on the project budget, such as funds available over time. 17. What is the project resource constraint? Project resource constraint is any limitation or restraint placed on resource usage, such as what resource skills or disciplines are available and the amount of a given resource available during a specified time frame. 18. Give a definition for project control technique. Project control technique is comparing actual performance with planned performance, analyzing variances, assessing trends to affect process improvements, evaluating possible alternatives, and recommending appropriate corrective action as needed. 19. What is the control account tool? Control account tool, a management control point where scope, budget, actual cost, and schedule are integrated and compared to earned value for performance measurement. Control accounts are placed at the work breakdown structure. Each control account may include one or more work packages, but each work package may be associated with only one control account. Each control account is associated with a specific single organizational component in the organizational breakdown structure, also called a cost account. 20. What is the corrective action? Corrective action, documented direction for executing the project work to bring expected future performance of the project work in line with the project management plan. 21. What does the term cost mean? Cost is the monetary value or price of a project activity or component that includes the monetary worth of the resources required to perform and complete the activity or component, or to produce the component. A specific cost can be composed of a combination of cost components including direct labor hours, other direct costs, indirect labor hours, other indirect costs, and purchased price. 22. What is the crashing technique? Crashing technique is a specific type of project schedule compression technique performed by taking action to decrease the total project schedule duration after analyzing a number of alternatives to determine how to get the maximum schedule duration compression for the least additional cost. Typical approaches for crashing a schedule include reducing schedule activity durations and increasing the assignment of resources on schedule activities. 23. What is the critical chain method technique? Critical chain method technique is a schedule network analysis technique that modifies the project schedule to account for limited resources. The method mixes deterministic and probabilistic approaches to schedule network analysis. 24. What is the critical path method technique? Critical path method technique, used to determine the amount of scheduling flexibility, the amount of float, on various logical network paths in the project schedule network, and to determine the minimum total project duration. Early start and finish dates are calculated by means of a forward pass, using a specified start date. Late start and finish dates are calculated by means of a backward pass, starting from a specified completion date. 25. What is the decomposition technique? Decomposition technique is a planning technique that subdivides the project scope and project deliverables into smaller, more manageable components, until the project work associated with accomplishing the project scope and providing the deliverables is defined in sufficient detail to support executing, monitoring, and controlling the work. 26. What is the driving resources? Driving resources, resources that are considered to have a direct impact on activity duration during resource leveling. 27. What is the data date? Data date, the date through which the project status and progress were last determined and reported for analyses, such as scheduling and performance measurements. It is the last past historical date, sometimes called as of date. 28. What is the earned value technique? Earned value technique, a specific technique for measuring the performance of work for a work breakdown structure component, control account, or project. 29. What is the estimate at completion? Estimate at completion, the expected total cost of a schedule activity, a work breakdown structure component, or the project when the defined scope of work will be completed. The EAC may be calculated based on performance to date or estimated by the project team based on other factors, in which case it is often referred to as the latest revised estimate. 30. What is the estimate to complete? Estimate to complete, the expected cost needed to complete all the remaining work for a schedule activity, work breakdown structure component, or the project. 31. What is the fast tracking? Fast tracking, a specific project schedule compression technique that changes network logic to overlap phases that would normally be done in sequence, such as the design phase and construction phase, or to perform schedule activities in parallel. 32. What is the original duration? Original duration, the activity duration originally assigned to a schedule activity and not updated as progress is reported on the activity. 33. What is the forward pass? Forward pass, the calculation of the early start and early finish dates for the uncompleted portions of all network activities. 34. What is the difference between lag and lead? Lag, a modification of a logical relationship that directs a delay in the successor activity. Lead, a modification of a logical relationship that allows an acceleration of the successor activity. A negative lead is equivalent to a positive lag. 35. What is the level of effort? Level of effort, support type activity which does not produce definitive end products. It is generally characterized by a uniform rate of work performance over a period of time determined by the activities supported. 36. What is the logical relationship? Logical relationship, a dependency between two project schedule activities. The four possible types of logical relationships are finish to start, finish to finish, start to start, and start to finish. 37. What is the master schedule? Master schedule, a summary-level project schedule that identifies the major deliverables and work breakdown structure components and key schedule milestones. 38. What is the milestone? Milestone, a significant point or event in the project. 39. What is the near-critical activity? Near-critical activity, a schedule activity that has low total float. The limit below which total float is considered near-critical is subject to expert judgment and varies from project to project. 40. What is the network logic? Network logic, the collection of schedule activity dependencies that makes up a project schedule network diagram. 41. What is the network path? Network path, any continuous series of schedule activities connected with logical relationships in a project schedule network diagram. 42. What is the open end? Open end, an activity with no predecessor, successor, or both. There should be only two activities/milestones in a schedule with open ends, project start and project completion. 43. What is the performance measurement baseline? Performance measurement baseline, an approved integrated scope schedule cost plan for the project work against which project execution is compared to measure and manage performance. Technical and quality parameters may also be included. 44. What is the percent complete? Percent complete, an estimate, expressed as a percent, of the amount of work that has been completed on an activity or a work breakdown structure component. 45. What is the activity attributes? Activity attributes include activity codes, predecessor activities, successor activities, logical relationships, leads and lags, resource requirements, imposed dates, constraints, and assumptions. 46. What is the precedence diagramming method technique? Precedence diagramming method, technique in which schedule activities are represented by boxes or nodes. Schedule activities are graphically linked by one or more logical relationships to show the sequence in which the activities are to be performed. 47. What is the difference between procedure and process? Procedure, a series of steps followed in a regular definitive order to accomplish something. Process, a set of interrelated actions and activities performed to achieve a specified set of products, results, or services. 48. What is the progressive elaboration technique? Progressive elaboration technique, continuously improving and detailing a plan as more detailed and specific information and more accurate estimates become available as the project progresses, and thereby producing more accurate and complete plans that result from the successive iterations of the planning process. 49. What is the project? Project, a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. 50. What is the project attributes? Project attributes, multiple attributes associated with each unique project that can be included within the schedule model. Project attributes include, but may not be limited to project identifier, project name, project description, project scope statement, project calendar, and assigned resource calendars. 51. What is the project management plan? Project management plan, a formal, approved document that defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled. It may be summary or detailed and may be composed of one or more subsidiary management plans and other planning documents. 52. What is the resource? Resource, skilled human resources, equipment, services, supplies, commodities, budgets, or funds. 53. What is the resource application? Resource application, the percent of the resource duration that the assigned resource is estimated to apply to the work of the schedule activity. 54. What is the resource assignment? Resource assignment, the linkage of one or more resources to a schedule activity and identification of the amount of each resource that is needed to accomplish the work on that schedule activity. 55. What is the resource attributes? Resource attributes, multiple attributes associated with each resource that can be included within the resource library. Resource attributes include resource identifier, resource name, resource type, resource availability, resource rate, resource code, constraints, and assumptions. 56. What is the schedule compression? Schedule compression, shortening the project schedule duration without reducing the project scope. Two methods for schedule compression: crashing and fast tracking. 57. What is the work period? Work period, a date or part of a date identified as a time for performing work. Each date may be further divided into calendar units, such as shifts, hours, or even minutes that may be designated as the specific work period. 58. What is the Schedule Performance Index? Schedule Performance Index, a measure of schedule efficiency on a project. It is the ratio of earned value to planned value. An SPI equal to or greater than 1 indicates a favorable condition and a value of less than 1 indicates an unfavorable condition. 59. What is the variance threshold? Variance threshold, a predetermined range of normal outcomes that is determined during the planning process and sets the boundaries within which the team practices management by exception. 60. What is the schedule variance? Schedule variance. A measure of schedule performance on a project. It is the algebraic difference between the earned value and the planned value. 61. What is the three-point estimate? Three-point estimate. An analytical technique that uses three cost or duration estimates to represent the optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic scenarios. This technique is applied to improve the accuracy of the estimates of cost or duration when the underlying activity or cost component is uncertain. 62. What is the total float? Total float, the total amount of time that a schedule activity may be delayed from its activity early start date or activity early finish date without delaying the project end date, or violating a schedule constraint. Calculated using the critical path method technique and determining the difference between the early finish dates and late finish dates. 63. What is the work breakdown structure? Work breakdown structure, a deliverable-oriented hierarchical decomposition of the work to be executed by the project team to accomplish the project objectives and create the required deliverables. It organizes and defines the total scope of the project. Each descending level represents an increasingly detailed definition of the project work. The WBS is decomposed into work packages. 64. What is the work package? Work package, a deliverable or project work component at the lowest level of each branch of the work breakdown structure. The work package includes the schedule activities and schedule milestones required to complete the work package deliverable or project work component. 65. What is the workaround? Workaround, a response to a negative risk that has occurred. Distinguished from contingency plan in that a workaround is not planned in advance of the occurrence of the risk event. Distinguished. Best wishes and good luck. Kindly keep following for further lectures.